I'm not a lawyer, but y'all wanted a Jonathan Majors recap, so here it is. Jonathan Majors' trial started on Monday, December 4th for the multiple misdemeanor counts of harassment and assault stemming from the March 25th, 2023 incident between him and his then girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Now listen, New York does not allow cameras in their courtroom. Lame. So my recap will be coming from articles and tweets from journalists who are actually in the courtroom. Got it? Grace Jabari herself, again, she's the ex-girlfriend, is one of the first witnesses to testify in the trial. She's had 4 days worth of testimony on the stand, and I'm going to use some reporting from Pilar Mendez, who reports in the Daily Beast, to recap some of the highlights. Grace said her and Jonathan met in 2021 on the set of Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's a trained dancer and was hired to work on the film. She says that the early days of their relationship were kind and loving. And then she gets into the first time he raised his voice at her. She says that it was after she mentioned her ex-boyfriend's pets to Jonathan, to which he screamed at her, telling her that he was embarrassed by her past relationships and that her ex's dog was pathetic. Grace also testified about another incident from July of 2022 when she says he threw a candle. And she also had a picture that she was able to show jurors while she's testifying about this candle throwing incident. From there, she got into the time he told her to act like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. Grace testified that one time Jonathan threw her out of the house, then asked her to come back. And when she came back, he told her that he wanted to marry her. He also told her, according to a recording that was played in the courtroom, that like King and Obama, as in Martin Luther and Barack, he, as in Jonathan Majors, needs a great woman to support him. Jonathan, according to Pilar's reporting, said, quote, "I am a great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture. That is real." And in case you're wondering, according to Pilar's reporting, Megan Good sat in the row behind him and nodded. Okay, now let's talk about text messages. So some background is that before this trial started, prosecutors revealed to the judge that they had a London police report, medical records, and treatment information and text messages stemming from a September 2022 incident from when the couple lived in London. In a hearing that was closed to the public, the judge ruled that everything from that London September 2022 incident was inadmissible, aka nothing from that incident could be brought up in this trial. So the trial starts this week. Grace is on the stand testifying about the March incident, and during cross-examination by Jonathan's attorney Priya Chaudhry, Priya begins grilling Grace about why she told police she couldn't remember what happened in March and why she was giving vague answers to some of their questions. So the prosecution makes an objection, and the judge rules that Priya's line of questioning was an effort to impugn Grace's credibility, knowing there was another reason that Grace told police she couldn't remember how she got injured. So basically, the judge is saying Jonathan's attorney Priya was asking Grace why she lied to police in March, saying she couldn't remember, making her look like a liar, when Priya knew that in the September incident that was inadmissible to this trial, Jonathan had threatened to unalive himself if Grace went to the hospital and reported what happened. But again, because all of that was inadmissible, Grace couldn't even reference what Jonathan had previously said to her. So the judge was like, nah, you opened the door, so now the text messages from the September 2022 incident can be read in this trial. And that is how we get to the text messages, which say, and this is Jonathan Majors talking, quote, "I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital. They will ask you questions, and as I don't think you actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something." Grace responds, "I will tell the doctor I bumped my head if I go. I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need some stronger painkillers. That's all. Why would I tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you?" More messages from the incident read, and again, this is Jonathan Majors talking first. "Last night, I considered unaliving myself versus coming home. I need love too. Or maybe I'm such a monster and horrible man, I don't deserve it, and I should just unalive myself. In this way, my existence is miserable. I want to not be alive." To which Grace responds, "I will not go to the doctor if you don't feel safe with me doing so or don't trust me to. I promise you I would never mention you, but understand your fear." Jonathan then, according to this article, admonished her for not hugging him and then sent this text, quote, "I will probably unalive myself. It's not really contemplating anymore. I'm a monster, a horrible man, not capable of love. I'm unaliving myself soon." Then Grace replies, "Jonathan, you can't say this. I'm going to have to tell someone." So beyond the text messages, anything else regarding that September 2022 incident was not allowed in court. But like I said, these text messages were read in front of the jury. For the record, Jonathan denies all of the allegations and through his attorney says that he was actually the victim in the situation, arguing that he was the only person to emerge from the car with a bloody gash, scratched, and scared. So there we go.